I'm going to do a third demonstration. I've got my empty bin here. Just set that there. This is not a table, but I'm outside. We'll make it work. Because kids make a lot of messes. People make messes. You know, accidents happen. So whatever. We've got our Norwex Counter Cloth, and we're going to basically emulate that this is like a table. And I put some food coloring in water there. That's about 6 ounces approximately. We're going to kind of pretend that this would be juice, you know, and we knocked it over on our table. And instead of just wiping it up to avoid the mess and just test this out, I'm actually just going to pour the 6 ounces of liquid right onto the counter cloth. Got a little bit of overflow going on. So I'm going to go ahead and just wring that out into there, try to clean that up, trying to get that cleaned up as much as possible without it flowing onto the carpet below me or the ground or whatever it would be underneath your table. So I'm going to pause this and double hand wring that out into the little bin. Alright, I double handed wring that out. Did not lose a lot to the ground, maybe a couple of drops, not too bad at all. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour this bin into the cup and see how much of that water actually got recovered just into the cup without losing to the floor. So let me pause it and I will pour it into the cup. Okay, I don't know how well you can see it, but trying to show you, the water before went up to the top of that line where it's at now. And it is maybe like a millimeter below that 6 ounce mark there now. So really I only lost a couple of drops of water. Excuse me, literally only a couple of drops. And my water that I colored came from there, so I did not pour anything extra into that. That is the food coloring water by itself. So the Norwex Enviro Cloth, well, counter cloth. Sorry, not Enviro Cloth. The Norwex Counter Cloth itself held just about 6 ounces of fluid. Just about. So, if you're wondering how much weight one counter cloth holds, based on my experiment, about 6 ounces of fluid, which is pretty good. I will try that with a regular microfiber and just compare and see what it does. But the counter cloth works really well in my opinion, because normally a lot of your spills are going to be anywhere between probably 3 to 10 ounces. So if one counter cloth holds approximately 6 ounces, let's say that you spilled a 12-ounce soda, that would be about 2 counter cloths. A lot of times people buy them in a pack of 3. Well, if you've got 3 of them, you could easily clean that mess up in a couple of seconds, and then just take a little bit of, you know, whatever else, you know, whatever other cleaner if you have it, with a rag and wipe up the mess. Or, if you're like me, you're going to have a bottle of pre-diluted mixed up laundry detergent from Norwex with some water and an Enviro cloth. Spray a little of that over your mess, clean it up. No more stickiness, everything is completely cleaned up, no bacteria left over, no sticky messes left behind. All set and done, no paper towels, you know, no environmental hazard and waste, no chemicals, you know, except for the up powder diluted laundry detergent, which is really safe. So, there you have it. So that was demo number 3. Like I said, I will pause it and I will really quickly try to just show an example of another cloth, just for comparison, but, you know, hey, that's just for, what the heck, just for fun. Now this again is my regular store brand microfiber cloth, and I wrung that out as well as I could from before, so it's pretty dry now. I am going to do the same thing with my food coloring water. Oh my goodness, it's kind of going everywhere, and I thought that this was my super absorbent one, and I would expect better from it. And yes, it is doing the job, but wow, is that making a huge mess. It's dripping all over the place. That is sopping wet. It's kind of just spreading it everywhere, but anyway, just for demo purposes, you can see it's still really wet all over the surface too. I'm going to have to pause to double hand wring this out like I did before. Alright, so I had to clean the bottom step stool, the top here. There's still actually liquid left over even after going over it. And I don't know if you could tell, but like this is still dripping off the sides, and the ground here is pretty darn wet actually. So that made quite a mess. But just to compare with the counter cloth, I am going to take this liquid and pour it back in the cup and see what kind of a comparison we got with how much we lost to the ground versus the cloth just by pouring it on. My video stopped for some reason, so I'll just clip this back in, but I'm trying to show you, you can see it does kind of go up to a line there, but that is actually 2.5 to 3 lines lower than the 6 ounce line was with using the Norwex Counter Cloth. So all of that extra excess liquid ended up all over the surfaces around the area where I poured the spill. That is a big loss and a lot more mess to clean up. So yeah, I will be sticking with the counter cloth, which is tiny compared to my giant microfiber cloth, and it is much more effective, and it leaves much less of a mess to clean up afterwards. So yeah, counter cloth for the win. Norwex for the win again.